and your strongest and best self. So let's give a round of applause to Anthony Wall.
Thank you all for being here. This is an incredible event. Thank you, Dr. Tyner. Dr. Tyner is such an inspiration for the community, for Minnesota, for the country, and the world. Knowing again that you can go off and become what you want to be and then come back and change your community is such a powerful thing. And if more people followed a lot of that example, I think we'd have to do so much work in this field. So again, please continue to do what you're doing, and thank you all for being here. So it all starts with the conversations. So I will say as well, this book is autobiographical in a sense. It's I grew up in Minnesota. I played hockey in Minnesota, youth hockey, high school hockey. I played a bit in college with junior hockey in Canada. And almost in every instance, I was one of the only black people on my team, usually one of the only people of color also as well. And so those opportunities, right, it was a unique experience. And but I think diversity does bring strength in that to have the game of hockey look more like the country and like the state would do nothing but benefit everybody. So that is again why I do what I do, and that there's a bunch of other people in this space as well looking to do their best to try to diversify this game. So all season long, 12-year-old Anthony and his hockey teammates have worked hard into the championship game. But Anthony had been battling more than just tough opponents. He'd been battling the mean things people said to him because he was black. Anthony had been battling racism. And you'll see here on the wall, there's 42. That's for Jackie Robinson, who is a sports figure, a sports hero, and continues to inspire young people, athletes, etc. Still to this day. Anthony and his team, the Monarchs, were playing their rivals, the Cardinals. The last time they met on the ice rink, the Monarchs had lost by a point, just 1 goal. Anthony hoped this time would be different on the rink and with how the Cardinals treated him. Who here knows who Buck O'Neil is? Buck O'Neil was a baseball player. He played for the Kansas City Monarchs. And back before everybody could play in the Major League Baseball, they had a league just for black folk. And the team that was New York Yankees of that league was the Kansas City Monarchs, and Buck O'Neil was a big part of that. And so that is why the team's called the Monarchs. And I just wanted you to know that. And if you don't know about the leagues, you should go out and research them, and so that's a really cool opportunity there. So Anthony and his team, the Monarchs, were playing the rivals, the Cardinals. Here's how to treat them. Matt, his teammate and best friend, said, "We're winning this one today." Anthony replied, "I just hope no one says anything mean to me this time." Does anybody here have a best friend? Yes, okay, amazing. Now, for the rest of the time when you're going through this, think about how you would feel if your best friend was getting treated the way that Anthony was getting treated, and then what you would do to potentially help them. How can I help if Jason does it again? Matt looked worried. Stand up for me, Anthony said. I will, Matt, promise. Jason played for the Cardinals. He always teased Anthony and called him names. After last game, he said to Anthony, "Why don't you go back to the basketball court?" Jason believed Anthony was playing the wrong sport because he was black, but that wasn't true. Because black people can play whatever sport they want and do anything they want. Another Cardinals player told Anthony to go eat a banana. It made Anthony feel like he was an animal or less than a person. But he was not less than anyone. Some of the words people used were worse than basketball and bananas. And that made Anthony sad and sometimes even mad. But he tried to stay calm and never got back at anyone during the game. Doing that might get him a penalty and hurt his team's chances. The Monarchs couldn't afford to lose, and Anthony couldn't either. He shook off all those bad memories. He had to get his head in today's game. But there Jason was again, glaring at Anthony from across the ring. I can't get a penalty no matter what, Anthony thought. The game was fast-paced. He shot the puck to Matt, who shot it over the Cardinals goalie's shoulder. Yes! The Monarchs erupted in the cheers. They were leading 1-0. As the teams faced off, Jason said, "The basketball court's over there." Jason's words felt like a gut punch. The next shift, Anthony missed the pass from Matt. Jason got the puck and headed towards the Monarchs' net. He took the shot, but the goalie made a great save. Close call. Later, Anthony got the puck while Jason was on the bench. Go back to the basketball court, Jason yelled. Startled, Anthony shot the puck into the Cardinals goalie's chest. He hated missing a chance to score, but Jason was really getting to him. He tried to ignore Jason and play better, but it was so hard. Matt made it past Anthony, but again, he missed it. This time, Jason recovered the puck and shot it into the Monarchs' net. It was tied 1-1. The game was almost over. Anthony took the ice next to Jason. Shouldn't you be shooting hoops? Jason sneered. Cut it out, Jason. Anger raced through Anthony. Why don't you make me? Jason dared, shoving Anthony to the ice. Anthony had finally had enough. He got up, but Matt stepped in and pushed him back. Lay off, yelled Matt. The referee blew his whistle, giving Matt and Jason penalties. The game was going into overtime, and whoever scored next would win. Before the face-off, Anthony skated over to Matt to thank him. I wasn't going to let you fight this alone, Matt said. It felt good to have his teammate stand up for him. Now, let's win this thing, Anthony said. Knowing his teammate had his back, gave Anthony new confidence. When play resumed, Matt passed up to Anthony, who had no trouble catching it this time. Anthony raced towards the Cardinals goalie, but as he soared down the ice, he was tripped. Behind him, Jason said, "You don't belong here." "Yes, I do," said Anthony, determined. The referee's whistle blew as he threw his arms into an X above his head. The game stopped so that Anthony could take a penalty shot while Jason was sent to the penalty box. Does anybody know what a penalty shot is? So it's when a player on the ice is completely away from everybody else, we're about to go down and score, and then somebody comes up and they'll trip you or they'll grab you and they'll penalize you is what they call it. The same thing in any other sport, football, basketball, you're a penalty, right? A foul, all that kind of stuff. That happened. So that is what happened with Anthony. He was about to score, and then Jason came in and penalized him. So what that meant is that Anthony gets a breakaway. Does anybody know what a breakaway is? So which means you get to go in and take your time to score. So, but you never know if you do. So do you think Anthony will score on this breakaway? We have one person that, can we get a vote? Anybody? Yes? No? All right, no no's. All right, okay. Anyway. So every scene, the packed arena was empty as the crowd stood to cheer. The sound of the whistle, Anthony took off like a rocket. He closed around the Cardinals goalie's net, moving his stick and body to the right. He took the shot and the puck slipped between the goalie's legs into the net. Score! Woo! The Monarchs were the champions. Anthony glanced at the box and caught Jason looking at him differently. After the Monarchs received their first place medals, the two teams went up to say, "Good game," and shake hands. Then, Jason skated to Anthony. "Hey man, I'm really sorry for what I said. You played great." Jason held out his hand. Anthony studied him. "Thanks," he said. "You know I belong here. Hockey is for everybody." Jason nodded, and finally Anthony took Jason's hand. They shook hands longer than anyone else. "I'll see you this summer?" Anthony nodded. The long handshake ended, and the two teammates skated back to their team. Thank you. So this was a picture of myself and Matt, who again is a real character, and Jason was an amalgamation of people that had said terrible things to me, but that only empowered me to want to do better and fight through that. So this is Hockey is for Everybody. Again, as Dr. Tyner was saying earlier, it really, again, is a medium for anything, for anybody, and that don't let anybody tell you that you cannot be or do anything. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.